And good morning. We are on our way to work, which not all of my videos will be like this. I promise. It's just how it is at the moment. So, I'm not wearing the jacket today. It's been making me a little sweaty at work, and so... Oh, my Prince roof rack that I will be installing today. Let's see. Get some music on. Oh, man. There we go. And close. Oh. Yeah, can I forget this? Jeez. That's what happens when you rush. You almost screw things up. All right. Whoop. Yep. Let's go. Let's do this. So, I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I've got on here, and some of the stuff I want to upgrade to. Like, for instance, the Koso, I believe it's rolling wrench that has a new thing out, and it's like it's an actual screen, and it looked badass. I believe it does the GPS, obviously all the stuff that the Koso does, and some other stuff as well. Yeah, we're not waiting for that. Whee! Don't worry, I got there as it turned yellow, so we're good. But anyway, yeah, I want that. I believe it's about $700 or something like that, which, out fucking outrageous. But I will pay it at some point, just not anytime soon. And then I've got the Rockform case that goes with. Oh, nope. There we go. I got the Rockform case that goes with the Rockform mount, and I love this fucking thing. It's great. And I've got on the mount the shock absorber, so my phone doesn't rattle as much. I think it works for the most part. I haven't actually had the phone on it without it while riding, because I bought it all at the same time. So I only know what I know. Anyway, I got Adeline levers. I bought the Adeline just because they were nice. I saw a lot of people like them. They're a little higher priced, but they just look good too. And so I originally had on the front brake, because the rear one is just the aftermarket pads. I didn't want to do a disc brake just yet. It was a little bit too much money at the time. And so, well, I don't know why I'm breathing so fucking heavy. Probably because I'm fat. The front brakes at first were the Brembo ones that Dorby Works offers. And I'm not going to say what happened with that brake caliper, but I did not like the brake caliper to begin with. And me being somebody that's been in the automotive and aircraft field for 17 years now, kind of know things are universal. And what had happened was, I'm not going to say it, but what had happened was basically something that shouldn't have happened, and I ended up having to go with a new caliper. And I ended up going with the Adelan because I liked the design, I liked the way it had for colors and whatnot, but I also knew that what I was looking for, it had. And ever since I've gotten it onto the bike, which bleeding brakes is the death of me. I swear to God, I will never bleed brakes again. I'm just going to drag this bitch to somebody else and have them do it for me because I hate bleeding brakes. Yeah, I know you can do it by yourself. I did it by myself. It was just, what the hell? It took me a week to bleed the brakes. And that was like an hour in the garage every night, me getting frustrated with everything that it wasn't doing properly. So, got the Adelan brake calipers on, and it has been a dream since then. Definitely love it, way more than the other ones. I didn't have to take that as wide as I did, I know. And so, woo! Gotta dodge these manhole covers. I gotta get gas today. So, I got the FLP headlight, Minion headlight. I think that's what it's called. I know it's made by FLP. And I wanted something different that wasn't your typical Cree LED headlight or the stock Honda Ruckus headlights. I think on some Ruckusi, the factory headlights actually look pretty good when they've got some stuff done to them, or at least the look looks good. And then I really like the Cree headlights. Holy shit! Like it just looks sleek to me because it is. Yeah, but I was hoping for something a little bit brighter and a little bit more different, so that's why I went with the Minion. And I will say though that the headlight actually doesn't feel as bright as it should be, and everything works fine, high beams, low beams, like it's angled properly. But I feel from the videos I've seen, like people get more out of the Cree or other brands and stuff like that, and I don't want to switch because I like the look, because it's different and, you know, and all that jazz. But I definitely want a better light output at night because I can see the road, but I can't see what's in the road, and that bugs me a bit. But I don't ride too much at night anyway, as it is right now. So it's not like I have to worry about that too much, but it's just one of those things that I'm pretty anal about wanting to have, and I will definitely upgrade that before I do the new digital system that's out. But the one other thing I wanted was the new EFI direct injection that Roller Wrench has, and it's only $600, which yeah, that's a lot of money and everything. But at the same time, if I never have to tune this piece of shit again, I will be ecstatic. Tuning isn't hard, it's just time consuming. That's all it is. I hate ripping apart the bottom of the carburetor, changing out a pilot jet and everything, or changing out the main jet, you know, one at a time, just to make sure I get the right mixture of where I want to be at in the beginning, towards the end, you know, all that jazz. And it is just a pain. I hate doing it. That's why I haven't tuned my Ruckus since I got the new carburetor, I just threw the main jet and the pilot jet in there from the old one, because I was like, well, I know it worked on this one, it'll work on the new OKO. So I did that. No problems. Like it idles great. Good God, it idles great. When I first got the original OKO, it was used, and I don't know what was wrong with it, but that thing would idle at 3,000 RPM or so, or 4. I really don't even know. I didn't have a tachometer, so that, I'd be sitting on a red light, and it would sound just loud as shit. But of course, whenever I got on it, it'd get louder. But it was annoying. But it also tried to take off on me. Like, it was honestly, I could sit on top of it and bring my feet up at a stop, and it would start rolling forward. And no matter what I did, I changed the jets, I changed the air fuel mixture, adjustment valve, whatever the hell that's actually called. And no matter what I did, it still did the same thing. So I bought the new carburetor, and yeah, everything worked from there. So I have no clue what was going on with that. And I even cleaned that shit, but not with a high pressure air or anything like that. I used what was it? Carb cleaner? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used carb cleaner, and I used a whole can on it, just spraying every hole and crevice, just getting everything I can. And it didn't work. That's when I bought a new one. So there's also one other thing that I'm having an issue with. Not that we're on the topic of issues, but woo, had to brake. Yeah, that's the bad part about riding on this road in the morning, is it's a bunch of veterans and or civilians going to one of the hospitals or to the school. But no, I lost my train of thought. Well, damn. Oh, yeah, here we go. So the one issue that I have that I would like to get fixed, even though it's not really something that we're talking about, is whenever I am starting up my Ruckus after a few days, I haven't ridden it, it's been tendering, it won't start. It will push and push the fucking fuel, but it won't start because the fuel's not getting all the way to the top. Now, I figured out that there's probably a problem with the carburetor, and I don't know what it could be. But if I take the fuel line off of the carburetor and I start cranking it, oh man, the fuel just pushes right on up to the top. But the actual problem is that the check valve doesn't work correctly, in my opinion. Like, it works, don't get me wrong, or else all the fuel would just rush right back down. But it doesn't work, because if I leave it alone for 3 days, all that fuel is right back into the bottom below the check valve. I'm just like, well, what was the point of the check valve if it's not checking the fuel? So it was one of those problems that I really want fixed. It's not detrimental, because I crank it up at least once a day. But yeah, it's just one of those. Maybe there's a fix for it that I haven't read up on. Maybe it's user error. Probably user error. I'll own that one. Yeah, look at the headlight and everything. Oh, go on now. Wee for U-turns. So that's just a few of the things I got. I'll probably talk about my wheels, because I had an issue with them later on. I got a bone to pick with a company on that one. And I want to make sure that I say the right company, because I'm not trying to blast anybody that's, you know, not actually an issue. And this is the only company I have actually had a legitimate problem with. Everybody else, and I have used everybody else. Come on. Yeah, I've used everybody, except for like Scooter Works or some of the other ones, but Dorby Works, Drow Sports, Rolling Wrench, the Ruck Shop, yeah, all the main ones like that have sold pretty much everything that you need. I have bought from every one of them multiple times. And every time I've had an issue with anything, they have all been stupidly helpful. I may not like some of the prices at times, or, you know, maybe there's lack of selection, but I know, like, they're a company, they can't have everything. You know, they are competing. But yeah, I definitely like them. And there's only one company that I didn't mention I have an issue with, and I'll talk about that later. Okie dokie. So, well, yesterday I guess I gave a command to the Insta 360, and it did not continue the coverage after 16 seconds. So I lost about 45 minutes of potential footage. Anyway, luckily today is my day off. We are going to recreate that a little bit. So, bear with me. Yeah, we're going to play some Dylan Francis. Let's crank it up. Up. There we go. So, we'll talk about the one company that I have a problem with, whose name will not be not named, but instead I'm going to call them out for sure. I don't know if anybody else has had a problem with this company in the past, but if you have, I'm not too surprised. If you haven't, I would like to know, you know, well, actually, I don't even want to know, because at that point, I already know that if you had a good experience, that, that, you know, you're going to say something good, like, oh, I got exactly what I wanted from them, no problems. But anyway, Machine to Machines, that's the company I have a problem with. They gave me the wrong, it's not bore, it's not pattern, thread size. It's supposed to come as a 10 millimeter, and it came as a 12. And 12, if I'm right, was not an option. It was the super mesh. And so when I got it, the hub that I had was meant for that pattern, but for only for the 10 millimeters. And so whenever I got it, I was like, all right, awesome, you know, I can put the wheels on. And they were just so loose. Oh my God. So anyway, I contacted them and I said, hey, you gave me this, and this is what's wrong with it. And they were like, oh, yeah, that's nothing we can deal with. You're gonna have to buy a new set or a new hub. And I was like, the hell? Like, I gotta drop another 100 plus for a fucking hub? You know, because you wanted to give me the wrong product? So they, I emailed them 2 other times, and they pretty much were like, they didn't say it, but pretty much in the end of it, they were like, we're not going to help you. And that really pissed me off, because I'm like, it's clearly the wrong size of what you said I was getting. And I like that bike. And so, yeah, they have the biggest selection of wheels that I've seen so far. I like their selection of wheels. I hate that they're so damn expensive. For 2 fucking wheels, I can get a good set of 2 ESR wheels, a good set of 2 ESR wheels for less than that. Actually about the same price. But still, it's like ridiculous. Either way, like I'm not, the price isn't the issue. It's the company themselves not handling the issue that I presented. So yeah, I will never buy from them again. I will buy from everybody else, but Machines, nah, they are on my blacklist. Not that it matters. It's not like I'm important in that aspect or anything, but they lost a permanent customer. And if this causes them to lose another customer, you know, so be it. Like, maybe if you took care of the people you were, you know, selling a product to when they had an issue, they may have a bad time, but a good outcome, you know? So, that was that. See, this is the kind of view that I see a lot of videos take. You know, people going down the back roads and whatnot. And I guess you could kind of consider this a back road, even though it's in city limits still. And I love those back road videos. There's one guy that I started following not too long ago. He built an electric Ruckus that I think he just sold. I forget his name. But anyway, he, you know, I like his videos. They're not the kind of videos I'll make. Mine won't be any install videos or, you know, this is how I built this kind of thing. It's going to be more so me writing. I'll tell you the things I like, tell you the things I don't like, ramble on about some random stuff, but I love his videos. I love the E-Ruck that he made. It's badass. I can only imagine it's actually a little intimidating to ride at first. So, because he says it takes off, like you got to give it a little nudge before you just, you know, romp on it. So we are not going to go all the way because we don't need to. Because right there is where the Moss Park is. So instead, we're gonna go down this way. I've never been down this road. And he was driving on the wrong side because of a biker. So yeah, so I went to Lowe's yesterday, and I needed to get a part for my roof rack, for the Princeton roof rack for my RAV4. And the part that the company forgot to give me was a bolt coupling. And so I was like, oh, you know, Lowe's will have it. That's my go-to spot. And they had it, and I thought it was the right size. I forgot the bolt that I needed to bring, and it was too long. So I had to find a small washer that would fit around the bolt and use the spacer that comes with the kit and tighten down these anchor nuts. And yeah, I got the rack on all by myself yesterday, so wasn't too difficult. We'll see if it holds any water. Shit, these are nice, man. Oh, there's a nice little lake back here. Oop, running over to... Man, where the hell am I? Damn. This ain't too bad. Alright, we're going on an adventure today. Yeah, so this is makeup content for yesterday. I'll take this. So yeah, I went to Lowe's, did that. It was game day yesterday for my Carolina Panthers. And I already knew they were going to lose. I just didn't realize how bad they were going to lose. I kind of want to go down some of these streets and everything with the nice houses, but this bitch be loud. It doesn't sound loud in the videos, and that's good. But it'd be loud outside the video, especially when I'm doing 43 or so. I know I'm behind me. TM Ranch, shit. But yeah, so the I forget what all I talked about yesterday, because I only got 16 seconds of video, and I remember it was about the wheels, it was about Lowe's, and briefly the Panthers. God, what else? Yeah, I can't remember, but we'll figure out something new to talk about. Hitches, well, bike racks. So I need to get a hitch and a bike rack. Well, a tote. What's it called for motorcycles? Is it a bike rack? Anyway, I need to get one of those. Well, the hitch and the bike rack for the Ruckus and Isle of Pines. And the only concern I have is my Ruckus is only well, I don't even know how heavy the Ruckus is actually. I'm thinking it's closer to 200 pounds, which would make sense because I think the factory Ruckus is close to that. Since the motor's bigger, I would imagine that it weighs a bit more, but I have less stuff on it. Overall weight of things has gone down drastically, so maybe it evens out. Anyway, the RAV4 is only able to tow 1750 in weight, which means the tongue weight is 10 to 15% of that, which I'm not going to worry about the tongue weight too much, because I know I got to account for the hitch itself and then the rack. So if anybody's towing their Ruckus with their car, and I don't mean an actual SUV or truck or anything that's supposed to be capable of towing, but I saw somebody carrying theirs with a Mazda 3, I believe it was. There's a picture on one of the forums, well, not one of the the Facebook pages, Jesus, and I googled the weight, and I was like, oh, that's less than a RAV4. If he's clearly carrying his GY6 Ruckus that's stretched and everything, I shouldn't have an issue. And so I kind of want to find out from people that have done it, what their ooh, that's a nice house. I'd definitely pave that driveway though. I'd definitely like to find out how you've done it, as far as securing it so where it doesn't come off. I have the Rhino straps, retractable straps and everything. Oh, I'm bogging down a little bit. Yeah. So I've got an idea, since I have the roof rack now. Instead of having all the weight sit on the hitch itself and weighing it down the entire time while driving, especially if I'm going over bumps, because obviously that's putting tension on the tongue weight and causing it to have more weight. I want to take the Rhino straps and connect them to the actual rack to the back of the printed roof rack. So that way it's alleviating some of the weight that's being brought down on it, but also if it does bounce, it doesn't bounce down. It'll bounce up, but then come back down into the stationary position it was in instead of going further. I know less travel, it's something with physics that I know I just can't, it's hard for me to put into words. But the hitch that I'm looking at is either going to be the Ironman rear bumper hitch assembly, or it's going to be the OEM factory hitch from Toyota, which I like both, and obviously more tongue weight can be added with the OEM hitch, but I like the look of the Ironman just because if I do back into something, I have the option of not fucking up my rear bumper, and I like that option. And the hitch, well, the rack that I want, Jesus, man, words are not great with me right now. The rack that I want is from Motovlogging. Yeah, I'll have to go and look at it on my spreadsheet again. It's $700. It's not the Pro version. That one's $900 or $1,000. This one is the basic one. If I'm right, it holds up to an 8-inch wheel, and it has a diameter, a length, wheelbase length of 62 inches, 65, one of those. And if I did the math, I think my wheelbase is exactly 62, because I have the 12-inch stretch. Yes, I had the 12-inch stretch with the Mojo mount. Oh damn, that's nice. Shit. Oh damn. Yeah. So if anybody out there is already towing their Ruckus with their car or smaller SUV that's not rated for towing things like that, that is actually using a bike rack and not a trailer itself, then please let me know. There was a point where when I had my Forte and then my Stinger, that I wanted to do what I saw this one guy did online. He had a Ford Focus. It was a yellow one, if I'm right, from about 6-7 years ago. It was at a Import Alliance or something, and he had a trailer that had the same wheels as the Focus, the same color as the Focus, and it carried his Ruckus and had space for another one. And I was like, oh, that's badass. I don't like towing things. I'm not good at it. It's not my forte, I guess. Yeah. And so when he would have the trailer unhooked, it had another picture of it, and his license plate covered up where the tow hitch was. So that way, if he wasn't towing the trailer, there wasn't a hitch showing. And I was like, that is so badass. That's what I want. And so ever since then, I guess he's waiting for me to come. Like, bro, you had all day and night to go. And so I saw that, and I thought that would be a wild ass idea, because it's great. It looks so good. I don't know anything about the guy. There wasn't an Instagram handle or Facebook tag, anything like that. Not even a name with it. I just had a picture of the Focus. And I thought it was cool as shit. Well, fast forward, I don't need to do that because I have an SUV now. Damn. And so, oh damn. I hope y'all got a look at that. Like, Jesus. This is a rich area. Oh, that one. There's a little tree house and everything. Damn. Yeah. Who was that behind me? Why do I feel like it's a Can-Am? It could be a slingshot. That might be a slingshot. So yeah, the bike tote. I desperately needed one because I already broke down twice. The first time technically was at home, so it wasn't that bad. And then the second time I actually broke down at Chick-fil-A, which is where, oh, that was just a regular bike, which is where we're gonna go now. So let's talk about some of this equipment that I have. I wonder what's going on over there. As far as like recording stuff, I don't know the name of it. I will have to look it back up on Amazon. But I got the Insta360 Ace, not the Ace Pro, but the Ace. I didn't want the Pro, regretting not getting the Pro. And so yeah, should have just gotten the Pro. Anyway, just because it's got the waterproof case, and I can't find, the only place I found the waterproof case for the Ace is in Australia, and it's going to cost me $60, which is about what it costs on the website, but then Australia shipping. Luckily it's a small package, so it doesn't cost a lot, but it's still going to cost a bit. And yeah, like everything the Ace does, the Ace Pro does, but there's a couple of things better. But they just came out with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, which is nice. Instead of 4K, it does 8K, but we don't see an 8K, so it's not worth it to me. Like the 8K wouldn't really do much. It might have a slightly crisper video, but that's about it. So yeah, I got the Ace, and then the microphone that I have is from Amazon, but I scoured a few people that use the Ace and or like the GoPro, and I was trying to figure out what microphones they were using, because I don't know. I don't know what microphone to get because I'm not used to this kind of shit. So anyway, I got the microphone off of Amazon, and that was the cheapest place I could find it for like $63. Holy balls. This little thing with a mic jack is expensive as balls, but it does very well for what it is. And for the price point, you know, it's not ideal, but I'm not having any issues with it. There's no crackling. It drowns out sound correctly. Granted, that's also partially because of the Insta360, but overall, it does its job, and I like it. So I'll link the description and I'll link the mic into the description, Jesus, and we'll go from there on that. Y'all can check it out. It's definitely one of my better purchases for the helmet, and so I'm happy with it. I wasn't happy paying the price at first. We'll stay on the left side, but I was definitely happy with the results, the outcome. So on top of that, I already went over the helmet, which is the Ruckus 3.0. It's just all black. There's no design, anything like that. But I want the 4.0, but I don't feel like I should get one right now, although I need one because the shockwave is absolute dog shit on this one, on the 3.0s, and it's only because a lot of people have had an issue with either the speakers or the mic for the shockwave. Like, if I get a phone call on a shockwave, holy balls, it just goes into, like, worse than AOL dial-up tone. And that was my fault. I never tested it before. I got the helmet because when I was racing at certain tracks for the quarter mile or 8 mile or whatever, some tracks required you regardless to wear a helmet. Didn't matter if you were running 10s or not. And so I'd go to those tracks often, but I wouldn't race because I wouldn't have a helmet. Or if they did loan a helmet, the people could keep the helmet until they were done, which they'd be running 5-6 times, but it'd take them 45 minutes to an hour each time to run. And so I was like, I need my own helmet, but I'm also going to build a Ruckus one day, knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. And I bought the helmet 3 years prior to me actually building the Ruckus, and I never used it in the Stinger at all. It was honestly just sitting there. So that was not a waste of money, but a bit of a waste of money. I could have held out for the 4.0, but you know, I know some people have 2 helmets for XYZ reason. I don't want to be that person. Also, I don't like. I know it's not a good idea to buy a used helmet because you don't. Well, you can obviously tell. I dropped my helmet from the gas tank. It just rolled over onto the ground. It already chipped away at the top of the helmet, like just the paint, and then yeah, it scuffed the top of the visor. Like that, in my eyes, that is not. I tried looking in my rear view by doing this. That in my eyes, it rolling off the tank of my Ruckus and falling onto the ground does not constitute as getting a new helmet. Some people may disagree. Any damage to it, others may be like, no, it can take a little bit of damage. But for me, it just rolled off. I'm not too concerned with any actual permanent damage that may happen to it. So yeah, the Insta360 Pro, well, Ace non-Pro, and then a microphone that I can't give you a name or anything of yet, and that's really it. That's all the equipment I have for the helmet and for recording these videos. Other people are probably using like the Cardon or whatever. It's a little side piece that goes on to the side of the helmet. They seem really cool, but I don't need it. My Shockwave already does it. Hold on, this guy might want to talk. Oh. Oh, that's what it was. I had a guy yesterday when I was leaving Lowe's. He pulled up in his Benz, and I was walking to my Ruckus afterwards, and so he was like, "Hey man, love the Ruckus," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, appreciate it." Oh, can't show you all my pin. Y'all may try to get into my phone. Yeah. But yeah, I love getting the compliments and stuff from it. So, oh, that's what it was. I was talking about shows. So the shows, I used to do car shows, not a lot, but often. And I do small car shows, large car shows, and I would always enter in my forte in the beginning, mostly small car shows or just car meets. Well, then I got my Stinger, and then I started doing bigger ones like Slammed Enough, Simply Clean, and I wanted to build a Ruckus because I always loved the way they look, but I also wanted to bring them to car shows and stuff because my Forte, nobody had a Forte, or if they did, it was like one other person, and we drove in together. The same thing with the Stinger. There was only 1 or 2, maybe 3 Stingers at any of these major events, but all these smaller meets, there'd be 15, 16 of us, and most of us were heavily modded, either for power and or looks. And so with the shows I was doing, I was like, man, it'd be so badass to see a Ruckus here. And the problem with it was I've only seen a few Ruckuses. We're going to do that whole thing again, Ruckus-I, at one point. And they were always at, well, generally they were at just a meet, like a Cars and Coffee kind of thing. And then there was one I went to Import Alliance in Atlanta one year, and there were a few Groms and a Ruckus. So it's not like they didn't exist at the car shows, it's just nobody had them. And that was, the Grom was, the Grom and Ruckus at the Import Alliance or whatever, that was about 9 years ago now, when I was starting to want to actually get into it. Okay, so I just had my Chick-fil-A, and then I will be going to Disney today. That'll be fun. That will be very fun. Okay. So, this is going to be the end of my video today. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. I already forgot what I was going to talk about. I don't feel like going back and trying to edit and go and then recreate the whole thing. So I'll figure it out whenever I start editing it, and whatever I said before I went into Chick-fil-A, I will talk about it on the next video. That sounds pretty good to me. But I gotta get on Narcoosie, which I don't want to do, but here we are anyway. Okay, not too bad. Yay! Alright, everyone, ride safe. Just met a guy. He's gonna follow me on the gram, YouTube, probably. And if he's watching, shout out to you and your bike. Ride safe, bro.